Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
As their flag bearer into our next elections. And Commander Shasi and my Musa say, Unsa na mono any anything.
I think the top-down approach we and say for command so the bottom-up approach. Now, during interviews, grow for baby something there. Now, it being difference between if you go in the protocol and conquest we different sense we different thing there. Senkayan Mamaikan bottom up now. Chebuhunde to bottom polling station, constituency, regional, national, and Sana Wakoto flag bearer. It will be the same number of delegates, but the delegates would have been very different. Same thing there. After 2024, if you are polling station, be a now constituency, be a chairman, Nenkrofuna, Wanyaziti, Aumina Yasasam. If you should be a chairman and Nenkrofoyaziti, Wina on Sanko. And the electorate would have been different. Then electorate, they would have mirror that na self-shapuma into affinity and when the masses of the party are what to happen in general election to be more similar. You see, we have a situation that oh, now one can discuss to general election. That's the same thing that problem we had in 2024. So come on, go say and change the man to a better. But we are here now. And see, this is the more quite now offered. Go football feed there. And I'm open hunting or said away and tentam them because they thought it was an advantage. If you are no but that's the perception. And see, back at the Dr. Bawumia, why say there are more people over there Utumo United and Sana with whom work 2020. But man, I think the other people should help them. Professor Umbu White, and say Udina, the choir of Faduma, work various factions now book, Nankasaso, with whom were communicated in Yamosu free 2024. Now Yamo Butum was heading into 2028 and official party, Yonanko party, a message in a approaching 2024 Ghana for CMP. And see, you could be at 2028 by message near Zeko, every disposition near Zeko. Those are the kind of things that over the chance and it might go 2028.
Now, Doc, now talk about unity. You say about to next, Dr. Bawumia contest, I call on him to congratulate him. And this has become more of a convention in politics. But how deep is the love and amount for a reconciliatory messages on the podiums, a true reflection on the ground? Now I show say indeed the party is united going into the next elections. Dr. Arthur Kennedy.
I don't know, John, is a DBR or speculation. Every election, Grofujina platform, do I can congratulations to the winner. It's just good manners. It doesn't really mean that they mean it or that they are united. To give you a story, after our 2007 primaries, of course, we all congratulated the winner. And then a few days later, a unity rally after the primary. Now, one of the candidates which are remain nameless, woman, was it? I feel about it. Woman kind of emergency come to about my image. Meanwhile, I had publicly congratulated the winner. these things we need to look at Mangrofobia rather than what they say on the platforms.
But what's ye messages now on the day you declare results now? One key thing that ran through BSM was the need for discipline and respect. And I'm sure so no and yamani bia waninjo or amanyuku no bua enimu and then sebe atentine a enshada enkoso. A kwan be na party no be fa so enya sa discipline no and respect no na amobia hu se odimu e wa amanyuku nim Dr. Kennedy.
We can't we fair application of rules and conventions. And so if you've been following me until the not from Bombard, if you has been summoned to this film committee, I said it there. Back at the party, there are different classes of people. More baby, I'll be uncle. Grofubi so wa po pet na grofa busu home. And to see the there is the perception and grofu the one there. The party is not being fair. Now I cited examples. Even Honorable Kennedy Japan has said some very controversial things about all of us as party members. Somehow we beyond discipline beyond for him. Mampo, I've said some controversial things about the party. But every other day you hear him say something. So where the na Nkrofubi or can be a Biancashi, other people so Obo pa no Kusu Homa. But the rules application, although more consistent. The second thing, what I call self-discipline and now even the application of meritocracy. The party yet so on the first now your war as it be a judgment of friend check and I check yourself. No can't check yourself for what he meant in there. Sabi say a back on there, yeah, if you Ashanti regional chairman. You people even so Skakra and them time on our pump for Humpa. Because this is the Ashanti regional chairman or Ujina there in Paul Bayan Unya a certain level of achievement and maturity and experience. But I think that the mountain if you even Gra National the 17 freeway, the people who have stepped up and sometimes will cast my party na no from Kakra. And see, I think that we need to restore my friend unofficial meritocracy at Nanche or party. And the last part of it was also that for example, will be there, the Rocha and all those kind of people, regardless of how much I disagree with the Rocha. When Katina radio do not mention I remember there, a lot of people don't know this, but in 2008, those who know history, when Nanado wanted to pick Ajia Lima Mahamas running meter, he respected that the Rocha. Okay, it was a bad idea. There were people who thought that we should attack the Rocha. And I was the chairman of the communications committee. So, no, we would attack them. That would be specific thing, be helpful in the party. So I went to see the flag bearer. And in the end, the statement I took to him that he authorized me there. The flag bearer has taken note of and the Rocha's concerns. He respects the Rocha. The process for picking a running mate is still ongoing, and he will take on board the sentiment of the Rocha. That was more diplomatic and respectful than what initially people wanted to say. Who is the Rocha? They don't go and say who is the Rocha. And my point in there is even from Pomboat okay, interview no can be na, sentences be which we all do once in a while. Sometimes I say things on air and I say maybe I say something to me and them can different. Or the next day, the general secretary and issue fatwa. The papa great being it, you go to his house. First, I can say. Braka, so you engage because a party, you don't know parties are voluntary organizations. In my mind, they'll build the party as a it's like being interested in the woman. Because only by force. And we saw it even last year during the general election there. So we said, you panic a party card crowd, waiting up voting booth. Nankasa, as Nanado said, look, Nanaja. Timo Pipiano, and to say, being to mention, Oyako, Nabe Manipane, you think about them, you have their welfare at heart, not yet also out of love for the party, for the principles, and for the candidate.
It's from Pamcho, Dr. Atta Kennedy, a founding member of the NPP, and Anope, Yeneno Edin Komo, Ewo Jabasi Jumediene, so here on TVXYZ, as well as on Power 97.9 FM. But Doc, okay, be about unofficial meritocracy. Meaning, say, and no ma chairman Sabonsu feel say if the party appoints him as a national chairman, then he's willing to serve, but he's not ready to be contested for that position. For such a position, no. Ebino no anam.
To some extent, but respect the many chairman Sabonsu whereas I still think we should have a meritocracy. And Chairman Sabonsu has merit as a person, given all what he has done for the party. But the party is democratic. And see, for example, there are a few other people who are also of merit. Maybe like Paula Fuku or Boacheja. If they want to be national chairman, it should be possible for them all to contest. Now, by the way, Honorable Chairman Sabonsu, and I thank him for his service to the party, has a recurring idea that is a bad idea. Even the majority leader repeatedly MP selection in Budua, he tries to get the party to let incumbents go and challenge and all that kind of thing. Respectfully, I vigorously disagree with that. Same thing in there. Say, member of parliament, I wait to my year. When in there, about a primary, because primary is a or to happen. What do my work the sign connect with Juma and not to ensure moving cage. And just a better by force, Yaman Crofu being on challenger. The man's in Norman Crofu independent Nazi because at least to bitterness. Because when the chairman happens, then in the last 2 times he went, there were a lot of people in Swami who were unhappy. Some of them eating Timon, some would not from Nazi. That is not democratic. In the US, even the Speaker of the House of Representatives can lose his seat. Because, as you know, no constituency is going to allow you to go uncontested. There will be a general election vote. This is a new popular. Not a party in the kitchen, Timon Crofu answer. No sounds over. The general election voters will send home, just like in the US, they can send a speaker home. I have seen a Speaker of the House lose his seat in the US.
Now, about to next year, there are serious concerns. I don't know where it's emanating from, though, but I quite say, Muyi Bawumia, among 4% some changes happen in Parliament. any other areas of the party. You know, as the minority leader, among for Bonnie to Johnny a day, minimum says our concerns about when and how do you see this?
How I see it in that is why I think the top-down approach was a problem. Now, all the problems that were people there were solved. Maybe to the constitutional reforms and the issues are resurfaced. Same thing in there. Congress now you're going. Now Congress we so Congress they are going. The circulating proposals, discussing them. You go to Congress now, there were voice votes instead of counting the votes as the Constitution requires. You that the main man just tempt the able to me all those issues are still live. I mean, many in the parliamentary caucus, only leadership no be outside parliament or appointed because parliament is an independent organ. It is NPP for parliament. I think they should meet the way 87 or way 150 and have conversations and say they be our someone who deserves to be our leader. And I can our parliament there, a leader here, or Smesia and thing, rather than they will be our only parliament sitting there and saying, no, masses only. That is not how other mature democracies operate.
So you are suggesting, say, the minority caucus itself, no, and there's a omunya that to me, no, to decide whether say they want to change their leader.
Absolutely. And it should be scheduled. Maybe for the term of a parliament. The record will be year first. You elect when we come and we give you your badges and all that. One of the first things you do is the majority will go and elect. After they've elected the speaker, the majority will elect the majority, the minority will elect the minority leader. And then maybe by convention, every year, we can say they will have a vote, a review vote. And sometimes they will decide that nobody should challenge him, he's doing a good job. Sometimes they might decide that let somebody else go and try. Being a parliamentary leader, just like being an MP, there are people you think might be good, but will start the way about if you are as you want to me. Even though initially you thought no but why. If you feel doing to me, already to my and I think that the best people to make that decision are the other MPs who work with him every day. If you are a majority or minority leader, they be also party leader, the party leader, the penance and power, but in parliament and or emotions and on an he's not good on his feet. He doesn't show up for committee meetings, and so on. And those skills, the best people to judge that are when it's a parliament.
I see, but two quick issues, Doc, Anopena, Wadaruma, Yenda Wasinja or any the choice of a running mate. Yenim say 2024, only Dr. Matthew Poku Prempen the Koye. Minim near CDA, but it appears within the party, among for a call for a change of the running mate. Send us Hunefa.
Power the fam.
I mean, it's natural that when there's a new site. And I think that I would carefully review the performance of the ticket the last time and see whether the Matthew Brempe in retrospect was the best choice. Sometimes you can know why you might decide that he was okay. At times you can know I can do maybe Mrs. Son or Bobo Mills had a different running mate every time he went until he won. Another had the same running mate until he won. So there is no correct way and wrong way. The thing is, or therefore the circumstances. And then based on the circumstances, you make up your mind. But I think that those calling for a change have a right to call for a change. Those calling for continuity to have a right. But whoever the flag bearer is, that's his choice.
But
Power
a little over 38% in 2024 elections. People are saying, say, I say, Bibian Shadan Science, looking at the reset agenda under 1 year of JM, and the kind of projections the ruling government is giving us near dinner. Do you think the NPP still has a chance going into 2028? Dr. Arthur Kennedy.
Yeah, the NPP has a chance. I think that in politics, 2.5 years is a long time. We are just in early 2026. 2 years from now, we'll be in February 2020. 2 years is a very long time in politics, which, of course, on I'm picking a flag bearer 3 years in advance or 2.5 years in advance. We don't even know what the important issues will be. And it's a easy politics all over the world that you know that there are issues that develop late in an election cycle. Sometimes issues in the particular candidate will be stronger than another. For example, Trump, if the Republicans had picked their candidate in, say, 2021, they be on Trump. But by 2024, the circumstances have changed. Canada, for example, where the Conservatives, they led opinion for 3 years. But in the election year, the issues changed, and all of a sudden, most Canadians for until about 4 months before the election became the Prime Minister. Elections are about the future based on the present. And say, Black Stars World Cup to be sort of that he has published our lineup for our first game. To be able to how can you publish our lineup in February? Now, a World Cup in
Power FM.
And politics of today, soccer, is based on current form and current issues. And so you cannot determine how an election will pan out. Indeed, when you are only in 2026. Only the Soviets used to do that because they used to take their own results from headquarters.
Now, what I remember, the crack, Minim said when you bring any His Excellency, the former president, the former vice president, Dr. Bawumia Shiapeng, and what you make of him personally, because Nanado Kasa on the declaration, or can be said, he's worked with him for 16 years, he knows him inside out, and he knows his love for Ghana. And another Ghana for any people say, but I love when he was the vice president. But now when you get a close-up, a one-on-one with Bawumia, you might have a different opinion about his personality and his ideas. When you have that opportunity to meet him and assess him personally, now
of course, I know that when he was first brought into the party, I was one of those people who were to him. I was part of the team that assisted his transition. I think he's a nice person, but having said that, Nanado's points, I actually think that Nanado is passive. He's just saying things. Sometimes I don't know if he believes them because Bawumia himself and his allies are alleging that while he was vice president, his input was not taken seriously. We had an 8-year government in which we're told that Dr. Bawumia will be, in effect, in charge of the economy and help us transform it, and it didn't work. So, some of those declarations should be tested against, what do they call it, the realities of our own experience. Of course, Nanado was also the same president who refused to do a reshuffle in 8 years and thought kind of that was a great finance minister. So people can make up their own minds.
Dr. Atta Kennedy, I know pay you better wasipa on TVXYZ as well as on Power FM. So I just Brenna only a chair Ghana and semi. But finally, airport and some no what you saying the renaming no. Should it stay or should it be changed?
I think we are too interested in trading. I think that what Parliament should do is pass a law or develop rules about how people can be honored and how we name things after people, so that every government can follow it. So this thing about in the friend Jubilee House, the next time what do they call it?
Flagstaff House.
Flagstaff House. Then the next time we want to name this university after that person. Then the next month we want to change that. All these things are distractions. They are not foundational. But if we want to do them, we need to do them in an orderly way so that we don't look like a banana republic.
Thank you, Doctor, for your time this morning, Dr. Atta Kennedy.
Sure, you're welcome.
All right, so that was Dr. Atta Kennedy, a founding member of the New Patriotic Party. Anna, you call onto the line, so Eneno Edisa and Komono quickly this morning here on Power 97.9 FM as well as on TV XYZ. But Asamba Kokan said Parliament should try and enact a law on how our statesmen and women should be honored. Nankoyesa Bambia Ba, that's what Sisan Bibi editing for bit so. But he was say, Mrebia was say, oh, and Crofuko Wemo, and Sebe or mine institutions are who do Wemo, or many have said a dinner to or more. Abembi ba no ayi mu bi no aye foforo ba no ato aso nanka ya konisa. But Dr. Jonathan Asante the executive secretary of the African Institute of Statistical Studies and ope ono wa homane so mamene no entoa enkomobone so Doc, good morning. Hello, Doctor. Yeah, good morning. I'm Pacho Boko DM. Nyame adum bibi aboko na mame fam free baby anamene Dr. Atta Kennedy ewie no na menhwa also adwenche na oka bibi say renaming no and shada moayen because a twen adwen free or mining puntu oniama no bebre nti de be ne say anka parliament enhyemra na yehunu who are statesmen and women ni ehunu kwa be fa so aye be ana omo na nko
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here to my best of knowledge without any biases. PENDREAM TV.